That shit made me mad. But that's cool.
Shit, can't be doing that, bro.
I'm a comedian. They're supposed to laugh at me.
You left me and didn't say nothing.
Gods are gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like the Israelite. Gods are gonna trouble the water.
Oh my goodness.
Why y'all in here looking like a Tyler Perry movie? It's gospel music playing. Niggas is wading in the water.
Really?
Y'all don't hear that music?
Yes, I hear it. They playing them old spirituals.
I know. Okay, let me get changed. Y'all can keep playing it. I'll be right back. I came into old Negro spirituals, honey. That was classic. They was playing my funeral music. They ain't shit. Put my clothes on.
Oh, the irony. I love it.
Hey, I'm locked up. Won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up. Okay, we ready to get started?
Yeah.
You need to stop moving.
Hold on, Judge.
Okay. Now we got. Do we have all of our jurors present? Did y'all
I
check?
see 3 of them.
Okay. Did y'all check the rest of them in? Thank you, boo.
You're welcome.
Did y'all check the rest of everybody in?
Harley, how many jurors did we have?
I take all 10 of these.
Harley?
Mm-hmm. You probably need about
Harley.
7.
Said 4.
Oh,
No one else came up.
I didn't hear you. Okay, there's 3 there.
How many I get?
Taylor right there.
No, to be honest, Your Honor, it just matters if it's an uneven number. It's...
Okay, how many we got right now?
We have 3.
4.
We got 4. We just need one more person.
Where's the 4th?
The 4th is the blue one. Layla.
Yeah, she's sitting right in front of me.
Oh, hey, girl.
Hey.
Oh, look at you getting expungement, getting on a jury.
Okay.
I'm not no felon no more.
Girl, how I know when you got your
these shits
expungement,
ain't
you were not
Don't worry
going to
about
feel
it,
like the
girl.
DOJ. I literally
got
knew
it. I'ma
once
be
you got
sitting
that
down.
business, that was going to be raps.
Got me out here looking like an old lady. This is terrible.
Is that enough? You off of it?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to sit down for 2 seconds.
All right.
Oh, Jesus. I die. Shouts out to my nephews for getting me to the hospital in record time. We just need one more juror. We need one more juror. Is anyone available to serve on the jury this evening? If not, then I will have to be the deciding factor. Okay. Sir, can you provide your name? Step forward. DA, can you check into... Can you give him a background check real quick?
Yes, sir. May you come with me really quick, please?
He said, yeah, my nigga, what's up?
Oh, I don't think he wants to be a juror. I think he just was talking to his compatriot.
Okay. What about the guy in the purple and yellow? No. Okay. All right.
I think they're just sitting down.
All right. So I'm going to instruct the jurors. Jurors, we thank you for your service. You'll be paid $10K tonight as a thank you from the great state of Atlanta for serving.
I promise I'll be happy alone.
Turn off that damn music. Respect the court. Shouts out to my nephews in the building. Okay, so jurors. Tonight you're going to hear, we have 4 cases in front of us.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. I'm not on shout? I feel like this is shout. It says I'm on shout.
Okay, it might be me.
Okay. So jurors, you will be hearing 4 cases tonight. Some may end in a deal. You may not have to render a decision. The ones that do render a decision, you'll be asked to listen to all the facts of the case, and then you'll go into the jury room behind me and come up with your verdict. You'll be instructed specifically on the charges and whether you believe they are guilty or not guilty, and it's that simple. Yeah, let's get started. First up, we have... Who's ready to begin? Actually, we have, hold on one second. City of Atlanta versus Coach Banks. We'll start with opening statements. Now, Mr. Banks, you can go ahead and have a seat at the defendant's table. ADA Pena, can you please come on allow for the defendant to have a seat and take your... ADA, if you can come over to the other side where DOJ sits. Thank you, sir.
Your
Counselor,
Honor,
you may be...
Is that not Bruno?
I'm sorry. Is that... How many lawyers does he have? Is it Jade or is it Bruno?
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
he has one lawyer, Your Honor.
He has one, Your Honor.
Oh, which one of you is his lawyer?
Jade.
Jade.
Oh, okay, Jade. All
Your
right.
Honor, but may we approach?
Mm-hmm. Please approach. Okay, ladies. What do you got for me?
Okay, we worked out a plea deal. Attorney Jay came to me on behalf of her client, Coach Banks, asking to work out a deal. The deal is, it's kind of like coincide because we talked about his prior incident as well, I think 909, where he had to do the community service.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think one more was added on to that. He has to present those flyers by January 1st for his current case, the one we were meant to try tonight. We worked out a plea deal and a reduction of sentence to, I believe it said 355 months, Jade, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the fines totaling amount of $2.5 million. Is that correct, Jade?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and your client is happy with this? He'll accept this plea deal?
So he's just getting down here. Can I speak to him for 1 moment?
Yes. You have 1 minute.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, particularly ladies and gentlemen of the jury, right now the counselor is going to have a word with her client. She has exactly 1 minute, at which point we will continue. Please make sure that you are refreshed. You have ample food and drink. Don't die like I did. Don't be like me. Please replenish yourselves. Okay. And going forward, DAs, I'm sorry, not DAs, counselors, going forward, if you want to negotiate a plea deal for your client, please make sure you talk with them about it before trial, not at trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Can someone go let them know their time is up? We need a decision right now.
I'll get them here.
Thank you. I'm locked up. Won't let me out. Lieutenant Wick. Lieutenant Wick. Lieutenant Wick. He's straight up ignoring me today, y'all.
Let them know, Your Honor.
I don't think that's it.
He's in his head?
Maybe.
Who?
Okay. Shouts out to all of our absentee citizens joining us on the simulcast. Thank you for participating and joining and coming back. We would like all of you to pay attention to all the trial proceedings. Absentee folks that are watching us in TikToklandia, you also have a say in the jury's decision. All right, DA, counselor, what say you? Okay, we will be moving forward to trial. All right, take your respective sides. Okay. DA, please present your case. You have 1 minute for your opening statements.
Okay, one moment before you start the timer. Give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, I am ready.
Okay.
Good evening, Your Honor. Gallery, jury, may it please the court. We have before you a case of just really bad crime.
Oh.
We had an officer who responded to an incident where we had Coach Banks allegedly scamming and attempted to evade the police. Tonight, jury and the court gallery, we have several surmounted amounts of evidence that's going to prove that Coach Banks is indeed guilty. I ask that you find within your heart to look beyond his citizen status within the community. He's been apprehended more than once. He has priors.
Oh.
Find this man guilty and pack him up.
Oh!
Thank you.
Counselor Jade, opening statements. You have 1 minute.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for your service and commitment for ensuring justice for my client, Mr. Coach Banks. Today you will hear a case that at first glance may seem straightforward, but as we walk through evidence together, you will see the truth is far more complex than charges at hand.
Oh.
My client, Coach Banks, is not a perfect person. Nobody is. I'm sure of that. But being imperfect does not mean they are guilty of the crimes alleged against them. These charges, resisting arrest, fraud, and evading police, paint a picture that does not match the reality of what happened. And you'll see that today.
Ooh, it's about to be a fight. Prosecution, you may call your first witness.
I'll be calling Coach Banks to the stand today, Your Honor.
Oh, no. Prosecution.
Prosecution.
Oh, shit.
Your Honor, at this time, we will request if Lieutenant Lieutenant Lucas would come to the stand.
Okay. Calling Lieutenant Lucas to the stand.
And you rush down here?
Your Honor, at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and post our evidence and the DOJ's jury. If you give me 1 moment, I'm going to post the evidence that we have. If you can take a look in the live courtroom 1 chat.
They're going to stop running over those fire hydrants outside. Jury, if you can all enter into the DOJ emails In there, in the public side, you will find a link that says Live Courtroom 1. If you can all go into that space, click the bubble, and you will see all of the evidence being posted there. Please raise your hands once you are inside. Just give me a little X action. Okay, that's one. It is important for all of you to be able to see and interact with the evidence.
Your Honor, Lieutenant
When
Lucas
can you
is not available, but what I can show to the jury, if you take a look at the body cam, you can see that Lieutenant Lucas was responding to a call where he did see Coach Banks.
Okay.
And he did try to apprehend him. You can see where the chase began. You can see everything within the evidence feed.
Okay, jurors, please stand when you are in the in the live courtroom in the emails, and can see the evidence. We only have one of you standing. Only one of you stood up so far. Oh shit! Oh damn!
Oh
Ooh,
shit!
someone grab her. She's gonna go through the floor. She's gonna go through the
That's
floor.
how
Okay.
bad. That's how bad the evidence is.
Damn.
Falling out.
Okay, we got two. We got. Oh,
Your
was
Honor,
that a
objection?
Wait, I object to that. I object to that.
Hold on. Sustain.
Shade.
Counselor, control your client. Okay, so far we have two jurors that have entered. We need the other two.
No, I walk with the racks on me. Bad bitch want back, and you know she stole that ass on me. I don't want that girl.
If you come in here with music, you'll be escorted out. Two young ladies in the front, we really need for you guys to indicate that you are in the live jury room. We cannot move forward without you acknowledging this.
Yes, they're talking to you guys.
Jury, we will have to make this a bench trial if you cannot acknowledge that you can see this
Can you hear the
evidence.
judge? Yeah, I can hear the judge. Okay, she needs you to acknowledge that you're viewing the evidence.
Hello?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Acknowledge that you're viewing the evidence, please.
Okay, so jury, I need to know that you guys can follow instructions. I said if you are in the room, you have to stand up so that the court has a record and acknowledgement. Just stand up. You can sit right back down. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. And I know the girl in the blue. I know she stood up later. Thank you, jury. Thank you. All right, counselor, you can go ahead. And, okay, you're going to have to get off that phone, girl. You know you wilding right now. We'll wait. Are you done? Okay. Counselor, you can instruct the jury in regards to the evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. Jury, can they hear me? If you can turn your attention to...
You can approach the jury. You can approach the jury.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, jury. If you could turn your attention to the second video that was posted, you can see where Lieutenant Lucas was responding to a call. He spotted Coach Banks at the gas station, and Coach Banks did drive off. He took Lieutenant Lucas down a chase down the interstate, down the freeway, and the chase goes on for some time. It looks like he takes him through a chase through the neighborhood, and he ends up, another car pulls up, and he takes off in another vehicle. Oh. Yes, ma'am. Do you see in the live courtroom one in the chat bubble? Mm-hmm. And I'm referring to the second one is the first one that the jury will need to review first, and then the first one that was posted. It's out of order. Mm-hmm.
So continue to paint the picture of the evidence that we're watching while the jury is. Let us continue.
Yeah, so the first video that I explained, it does show Coach Banks getting away. They responded to another call where he is at another ATM. This takes place at nighttime. When he tries to apprehend Coach Banks, who gets into his truck, he tases him, and he becomes incapacitated. Lieutenant Lucas has to rush him to the hospital, and then you can see the body cam footage that once he arrives at the hospital, that it takes him an extremely long time for him to check in before he's finally apprehended. So not sure what was going on with Coach Banks, why it took him so long to check into the hospital. That's evidence that we have to present to you today. We're able to possibly identify Coach Banks, who was scamming, who was apprehended, who was taken to the hospital, decided to take some time before checking himself into the hospital while incapacitated, and then after that he was apprehended.
Okay. All right. Thank you, DA. Okay. Since the officer is not here to be questioned, is there any statement you would, and you don't have the opportunity to cross-examine him, is there any statement you would like to make about the evidence being watched, counselor?
Yes, Your Honor. All right, jury. So if we can take a look at the evidence of Mr. Banks laying at the hospital. Prior to that, if you watched I think it's Lieutenant Lucas.
That's
runs
correct.
down the hill, he tases my client. My client was not seen at the ATM. He was seen at the back of the trunk of his truck, getting into before he was tased, and then he passes out. You can then see Lieutenant Lucas dropping my client multiple times on the way and showing some type of angry emotion as to why he has to carry Mr. Banks to the hospital. And at the hospital, we see Mr. Banks is being dropped on his head several different times by the officer and losing substantial amounts of blood at that time. So he's unable to check himself in, and PD also failed to call EMS come assist. If you can see, there is one online. Could have called someone to come and help Mr. Banks at that time, but he failed to, and then he did make a statement at the end, "I got something for you." So with that next video that you do see Mr. Banks leaving, they're calling it evading, but I see that my client is in fear at that time, Mr. Lucas. Mr. Lucas is currently tracking him by his ankle monitor, I believe. If you can just watch those two.
All right. Thank you, counselor. DA, do you have any other witnesses to present?
At this time, no, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. So the defense rests. Okay, defense, it's your time. Please please call your first witness to the stand.
I would like to call Coach Banks, Your Honor.
Coach Banks, could you please approach and be sworn in? You're going to take the stand on my right. No, other side. Other side. Coach Banks, Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you COA and 5M gods.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may be seated. Oh,
You look nice, by the way.
thank you. You look very nice as well.
I appreciate that.
Counselor, you can begin. 4
One
questions.
moment, Your Honor, I'm sorry. Mr. Banks, how are you this evening?
I'm doing okay. I've been feeling better, but it's a rough time, but I'm doing okay.
Okay. Hold on, I'm having a headache. My apology.
Take your time.
Take your time. Not too much time.
Oh.
Okay, do you remember the day of this incident?
Not really. I remember me being dropped on my head a lot of times, but I can't remember too much after that.
Okay, so let's start a little light. Can you tell the court a little about yourself, your work, your family, your daily life?
Okay, so let me start off by saying I have 3 jobs. I work at LaFleur. I manage LaFleur. I manage Dots, and I also work at West Vinewood Motors. So a little bit about me, I'm a family man. I take care of my kid, take care of my lady, and I also support a group of young men every weekend. We go out riding, we go out hiking.
Your
And
Honor,
it bet
objection. I'm sure this king is an amazing family man and husband, but that has no grounding on the crimes that he's being accused of today. Relevance.
Damn, I will have to sustain. Counselor, you have 4 questions.
Okay.
Background is of the defendant is noted.
Okay, we'll take a different approach, Your Honor. Mr. Banks, can you try to explain where you were and what you were doing?
so when I was in that area, I was just going to the local like convenience store that's down the street from like one of my friend's house. When I seen it was people around in that area, I'm not like I mind my business. Whenever I'm somewhere, I just mind my business, go in for the store for what I'm getting, then I leave. When I seen somebody running into me, I didn't know who it was. Then after that, I can't really remember too much after that. As you can
Okay.
see, I kind of failed.
Can you explain your initial reaction when you realized the police were attempting to arrest you?
I kind of basically was like in a panic. It was like I had a shock attack, like my heart just started racing. And I just went to the ground. I know what police do in this city, and I try not to be a victim, so I always try to be on point and
Your
just get to
Honor,
my vehicle.
objection. Baseless accusations. What are the cops being accused of in this testimony?
So
What does I
racial
know what the
Hold
cops
on,
mean,
profiling,
and how is it relevant to
hold
this
on,
case?
harassment.
hold on. Sustained. Reword your question, counselor.
Okay, Your Honor. Mr. Banks, what was your initial reaction when you saw Lieutenant Lucas?
I was in fear. I know that he
Okay.
has a history of harassment, so that's just like seeing him was just like seeing
Your Honor,
somebody that you just
motion to
don't want to
strike
see.
that last statement. There is currently no record of harassment, nor there is any record of complaints against Lieutenant Lucas. Hearsay does not have any withstanding on any recorded complaints, which there are none.
Not
Sustained.
right now because there's
Hold on, Coach Banks. Sustained. Mr. Banks, please keep it into the scope of your specific experience. You can't know what's on the docket or in the records for this man's history. So speak only
okay.
specifically to your experience, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, you get one more question.
Okay, Mr. Banks, why didn't you immediately stop when you saw or heard Lieutenant Lucas?
Can I get a second to think about that?
I know you have some head trauma. Take your time, sir.
Thank you so much for respecting that.
Not too much. Mr. Banks?
Can you re-ask the question one more time?
Yeah, so why didn't you immediately stop when you saw or heard Lieutenant?
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm hearing, if I remember it correctly, but I heard him say something like, Coach, when I see you again, I got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just basically kind of like fearing for my life. I don't know what he would do to me, like, and as a person that's supposed to protect and serve, I just didn't want to find out. I was trying to get like to safety. I was kind of on an island, like far away from a community, so I just wanted to get back to the city and get to safety.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Banks. No more questions, Your Honor.
Okay. The state may now cross-examine the witness. You have 3 questions.
Hello, Coach Banks. When the first time Lieutenant Lucas saw you at the
Take your
gas
time.
station, why did you drive away? Well, let me just ask this.
I didn't, excuse me, ma'am, I didn't drive away. If you reviewed the,
Let me just say this. Let
no,
me
can
form my
you,
question. No, let me form my
Mr. Carter,
question.
order in the court. Order
Okay.
in the court.
Let me form my question.
that's a wrong accusation. Please get your statements
Mr.
right.
Carter,
This is my life at the
counselor,
time.
please control your client. Mr. Carter,
My name is Coach, ma'am. I apologize.
Coach Banks, Your Honor.
Mr. Coach Banks, sorry. Mr. Coach
It's
Banks,
okay.
please
I
allow.
apologize.
Okay.
It's just hard for when people lie on the statements.
I
Coach
understand,
Banks,
but you have to allow her to say her question. You cannot repudiate anything she's saying. You're here to just answer the questions, not to argue.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. I apologize. Yes, ma'am.
DA?
Coach Banks, when Lieutenant Lucas pulled up on you with his light at the gas station the first time, did you or did you not drive away? Yes or no?
Yes.
You testified when Attorney Jade, you said you did it out of fear. Do you agree that you driving off is a form of evading the police? Whether or not it was fear or whatever the intent was, that driving away point blank in the eyes of the law is seen as evading.
Yes, ma'am. Only when location plays a fact. So if I'm at a place where I'm not visible to
It's just yes or
people,
no. It's a yes or no question.
no.
There are so many. You wait. So you said no.
Hold on. Can you ask the question again?
What I'm asking is, driving away, do you agree that that is a form of evading, whether it was out of fear or the location being out of place, anything like that? That's still in the outside law is evading.
No.
When the officer flashes his lights behind you, you do not have the right to flee. If you are in fear, there are other ways to handle that other than always driving away.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, in the eyes of the law, you driving away from the police when they had their lights on and they're behind you, that is evading.
Counselor, you get one more question.
I believe
Uh,
that's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay.
mm, uh,
Counselor Jade, you may redirect with one question if you wish.
Mr. Banks,
yes, ma'am.
I can recall, I heard that how can I phrase this? What made you fear your life when having that encounter with Lieutenant Luke?
Wait, may Jay repeat the question?
Yes, Mr. Banks, what caused you to fear for your life when seeing Lieutenant Lucas?
The statement that he had made to me when I was unconscious, that I think that I
Objection,
heard.
there's no way you could have known what he had said. Are you unconscious?
Sustained.
Let me see, Lieutenant.
You can rephrase the question, Counselor Jade.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Banks. I heard you. Well, if I can recall, earlier you stated that you've had a few run-ins with Lieutenant Lucas.
Hmm.
Um, if you could remember during any of those encounters, what would make you fear for your life when seeing him again?
I can't really remember. Like all I can remember is him dropping me on my head many of times. Like I'm sorry if I'm trying to remember as much as I can, but that was a very traumatic moment for me. Like it's the holiday season, and just to go through that was traumatic enough. So that's all I have at this moment.
Okay, thank you, sir. No more questions, Your Honor.
All right. Coach, you're now dismissed. You can leave the stand.
Thank you, man. You have a blessed day and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. We'll now have closing statements, starting with the defense. You have 1 minute.
Thank you to the jury, to the
No, no,
court.
no, 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 no,
Oh, I'm
defense.
sorry.
You get the last
Oh,
word,
I'm sorry.
prosecution.
That's where up.
You're a little too quick. Slow down.
I thought the prosecutor was first too. Yeah.
What wrong? Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Trial, the decisions you make in this case are significant for my client, and I urge you to approach them with fairness and a deep understanding. Justice is not about assumptions or appearances. It's about facts, fairness, and the recognition that sometimes people act out of fear, not guilt. My client acted out of fear, if you can see, as many of us would do in this situation, out of a basic human instinct to protect himself. I ask that you see my client not as just a person, not as a set of charges, but as a human being that we all are today. And I ask that you return a verdict of not guilty on all counts, because the evidence has not proven otherwise beyond a reasonable doubt.
The state, we can now have your closing statements.
Judge, is there a possible way we can have this discussion back with fellow colleagues?
When it's time for you guys to go and deliberate, I'll give you your instruction, but for right now, we're not done. We got one more closing statement from the state. She's approaching you now. DA?
Your Honor, jury, gallery, may it please the court. I ask that you to look at the evidence very carefully and find the defendant guilty. In both body cam footages, it shows him clearly the first time when he was in the car. Number one, how in the world did he know it was Lieutenant Lucas who initially was behind him when he was in his car with his lights flashing? If you initially, number one, fear and ignorance is not an excuse. You're duty bound as a citizen of Atlanta when you are being approached by the police with lights flashing. You are bound to stop. You have to identify yourself. There are certain things that you have to do. If you are such in fear, there are so many ways you could have went about this. Not to mention when he was finally apprehended, he had the CCs on him. He had over 300 amounts of bath salts on him. In the second body count footage, jury, it's clear in the beginning he was doing a transaction at the ATM, regardless of his testimony. He is guilty. His injuries, his community status, him being a family man, a family guy, whatever the case may be, this is not his first time being here. He's been here before. Okay, find this man guilty. The defense wants to tell you, oh, he's been tracked by his echo monitor. Do you know why Coach Banks was being tracked by his echo monitor? Because he has yet to honor the deal of his last plea agreement. I ask you to stick to the facts. Don't allow any emotions, sob stories, or sad cases. He's guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, DA. We are now going to instruct the jury and lead you into deliberation. Jury, right now, the DA is going to read to you the charges and what was found on the person so that you also have that as you go into deliberation. You will have 3 to 5 minutes to deliberate, at which point you'll come back and let us know whether you find the defendant guilty or not guilty. DA, can you please read the charges and what was found in the evidence locker?
Yes, Your Honor. Coach Banks was charged with fraud, resisting arrest, evading, reckless evading, failure to yield to emergency vehicle, failure to stop, and possession of a controlled substance. When he was apprehended by the police, he had 11 clone cards, 438 bags of bath salts.
What the? Somebody get that girl with the diaper. What is wrong with her? Okay. Jury, you've now have all the evidence you need in order to deliberate. If you guys can follow me, I'll show you where your deliberation will take place. You will have a total of 3 minutes to deliberate. Make sure you're not on, your voice is not amplified. If you have any questions, I'll be here to assist and help answer. And I'll go on mute at this time. Let me put the court in recess. You guys can begin deliberating. The court is in recess for 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Wait, let me go on.
Okay, yeah, let's all go. I'm only here to observe and answer questions, guys. Okay, you can begin.
I'm on whisper. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, from the looks of it, when one of the lawyers came front, spoke about everything, I would say he was wrong on arrest and also deciding to not stop. I would say one thing that the cop was wrong about was physically assuming that he was the one that was doing the illegal action, because it shows that in the evidence that he wasn't the one that was using those illegal items. So I would say, yeah, he's definitely, I feel like he's mostly guilty on not stopping his vehicle when the cop told him to stop.
This music go crazy.
And also the fact that they found a lot of illegal substance on him made him really guilty on his end as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going for not guilty. The officer should never touched him in the first place. He was standing over there by the truck. He wouldn't have found nothing on him if he would have never bothered him.
Where she went?
To me, he's not guilty.
Oh, we can.
I will say, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I do agree that he shouldn't have ran away as he did. And it was a long pursuit. There was plenty of times to stop. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. I do acknowledge that his treatment in the arrest was kind of bad, but it's honestly looking at the footage, it's really hard to say, even though he's at ATM, that he's actually scamming. So I don't quite agree that even with the cards found on him, it's hard to say he was in the process of scamming. But the bath salts, I don't know about the bath salts.
They drove up to him. I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like he's guilty on the stuff that he was carrying with him, but I also feel like he's not guilty because of the fact that he wasn't caught in the moment of doing the illegal stuff.
Yeah,
I would
agree.
say from him running from the cops, deciding to stop his car when situation 10 times worse. Even though
He
he
was
wasn't
being
guilty,
harassed.
even though he was being harassed, it's still the law. You still have to stop. So it's like,
Not
even though he
guilty.
even though he felt like he was being harassed, he could have took that in court and sued him because he felt that way, but he made it more intense for himself for him to keep driving. So I would say,
Black men get killed by the police all the time. I see why he ran and didn't want to stop. Lucas known for harassing and being
yeah,
All
that's
right,
right.
ladies, it's time to
But I
make a
would say,
decision.
I say not guilty.
I say
Okay.
guilty.
All right. So we're
I
gonna
say
break it
guilty as
down.
well.
We're gonna break it down.
Property.
Guilty, Coach Banks. Okay, so we have 3 for guilty and 1 for not guilty. Is that correct? Okay.
I didn't make a decision yet.
Right, I didn't even hear her say that.
Oh.
I didn't make a decision. I'm thinking.
At the same time, him getting wrongfully treated in that whole moment of him getting arrested while he was on the floor was really wrong. Hold on.
The police messed up.
Yes, but he also, the other guy, messed up as well because he decided to drive off in the midst of the police trying to stop him. So he made it more 10 times worse for himself. So I
So
feel like
that means the police get mad and start slamming him in the head. You're supposed to still remain
but the only
officer.
He is
whatever.
guilty for
but the
fleeing
only
the
reason why the
scene.
officer did that is because he didn't stop
So
his
is
car
it a
from
way
the
to say
beginning.
guilty on certain charges? Not all?
Yes, and that's what I'm about to walk you through right now. Okay. So on the first charge of fraud and misdemeanor for the cloned cards, do you find him guilty or not guilty for cloned cards?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty for fraud. Okay.
I'm gonna pull out. I'm talking to Hitman. We might be working out a deal.
Guilty. Okay. For resisting arrest, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty.
What they
Okay.
said.
For evading, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Okay. For reckless evading, guilty or not guilty?
Oof. Not guilty.
Not guilty.
I got 3 not guilty. Okay. So 4th count. Okay. For failure to yield to an emergency vehicle, guilty or not guilty?
Sheesh.
Not guilty. Because I can understand that he was in fear.
Not
Well, how you
guilty.
say guilty for evading and resisting arrest and not guilty for reckless evading?
Because he was
I
driving
mean, or
at a
not
fear
stopping
store.
for the EMS. That's the same thing. I mean, what you say? You ain't stop for emergency vehicle.
Failure to yield to an emergency vehicle.
Failure to yield. That's the same thing. So if y'all gonna say not guilty on that, you gotta say no guilty on the other one too.
No, because he was guilty on not stopping the car.
Let's
And he
take a
was guilty
vote.
of keep
Just
driving.
raise your hands.
Yes.
Not guilty for the emergency thing.
Not guilty. We got 1 not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty 2.
Not guilty.
Okay. Not guilty on failure to yield. Okay. Guilty or not guilty for failure to stop.
Failure to stop.
Yes.
He's guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty or not guilty, possession of a controlled substance.
It's not what they
Guilty.
was looking for.
Do they have any evidence on what he was carrying physically?
Yes, he was carrying bath salts, which is a controlled substance. He was carrying cloned cards, fraudulent cards, which is considered a controlled substance. Not a controlled substance. The bath salts were the controlled substance. My apologies.
And nothing, I wasn't able to fully hear the combo, but did he redeem his rights?
Yes. And remember, ladies, in COA, whether once you're apprehended, doesn't matter how you are apprehended, whatever is found on your person, if it's illegal, it's confiscated by the state. That's the law here. So dream world laws don't apply in here. Just remember that part. So what was on his person was on his person.
Everybody agreed that he wasn't supposed to get arrested in the first place.
Even if he wasn't supposed to get arrested, if it was found on his person, it's the evidence of the case. Right.
Yeah, I also say that too.
I would say guilty as well because even though the cops wasn't gonna stop him, was just gonna do a regular acid brought on his window and everything, but he de-escalated the problem by driving. So I would say when he decided to check him and find the illegal substance, he made himself really guilty. So I would say guilty on that part.
All right. Last but not least, guilty or not guilty for negligent driving.
Guilty.
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 Okay. All right, ladies, I thank you for your service. Let's go back inside. You can put your mics back up if you wish. The hell is all this noise out here? All right, court is back in session and we have a verdict. Coach, can you please rise? Counselor, Jade, Coach, Banks, please rise. We're prepared to read your verdict. We need Coach to stand up.
Coach. Stand up, please.
What is that noise?
Read your verdict.
Am I the only one that hears that? All right, Coach, you can approach. And we need the officers present, just in case we have some crazy folks. Okay. In the matter of the state versus Coach Banks, the jury had. In the matter of
Come to the podium.
Thank you. In the matter of the state.
Is Your Honor talking?
Yes. Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm so sorry, y'all. I was over here screaming and hollering. In the matter of the state versus Coach Banks, the jury has determined as follows. On the charge of fraud, misdemeanor, you are found not guilty. On the charge of resisting arrest, you have been found guilty. On the charge of evading, you have been found guilty. On a charge of reckless evading, you have been found not guilty. On the charge of failure to yield to an emergency vehicle, you have been found not guilty. In regards to failure to stop, you have been found guilty. In regards to possession of a controlled substance, you have been found guilty. And last but not least, on the charge of negligent driving, you have been found guilty. The DA will calculate all the charges. The arresting officers will fine you, and you will be immediately remanded into custody. You can take this time now to say goodbye to family and friends as you serve out the remainder of your time. We hope the next time that we do see you, it is under brighter and better circumstances, Coach Banks. For those that are waiting for their trial, please join us after the sue. We will be right
Ms.
back.
Judge, I want to thank you so much for today. You are such a wonderful woman.
Thank you, Mr. Banks, and I hope that the next time we meet, it is under better circumstances.
Oh, it will. Can I take you out for lunch sometime?
Oh,
wow.
Mr. Banks.
Yeah, sing him over.
Mr.
Come
Banks.
So we can talk about business.
All right. All right. All jokes. Okay. All jokes aside, yeah, we gonna talk. All right, guys. We'll see you guys after Sue.
We definitely gonna talk.
We'll see you after Sue, guys.
Butter of the highest order.
Miss y'all so much.
Okay, DA, I'm gonna send this information over to you, and I'll meet you right back here after
I
Sue.
can't do it right now. I'm gonna do it. I can't do it. We get the last 5. You can't.
Okay.
I'll do it when we get back.